Good morning, Super Roofer. Ayo! What's good? Oh, just another beautiful Tuesday morning, Mr. Super Roofer. I hope you had a great holiday yesterday, or I'm not sure if you had the day off or not. But I wanted to just come on and wish everybody a happy Tuesday morning. But I had a little chat I wanted to have with everybody. I kind of had a vision over the weekend, and I wanted to see what everybody in chat thought about. And maybe see if this might be something you guys like to see coming up very soon, as a matter of fact. This isn't something I'm working on in the actual distant future. This is going to be something that probably go down here within a few days if you guys are up to it. Well, I'm at a stop sign here, so I'm going to say hi to everybody for a second. Good morning, sharpshooters. Good morning, hippie music girl. Good morning, love. Well, I'm going to tell you guys something. So, I'm currently not on the road trip. I am on a road trip of some sort, I guess you can say. But I'm not on the actual road trip that I want to talk to you guys about. What I'd like to do is, and I'm just like I said, I wanted to get some feedback from chat. But what I'd like to do is an IRL road trip. But this isn't just going to be any regular IRL road trip, okay? This is going to be obviously something that has to do with this channel. And this is going to be an IRL court coverage road trip, as a matter of fact. I'll tell you this. I got a little frustrated with waiting for a lot of these FOIA requests that I put in within the last couple of months now, I'd say. And I just decided, you know what? For the ones that I haven't gotten back yet, hell, I might just go ahead and travel over to the city itself and walk right into the county clerk's office myself and just request it that way. Just like we did in Tulsa. Remember on our first court coverage trip when we went to Tulsa, Oklahoma to check out little Skiwi's court coverage? Unfortunately, because you know how Skiwi is, because he didn't want to be filmed, Skiwi decided to lie to the court and his lawyer and called in with a condition of having COVID, which we all know is a lie. Good morning, Brandy. So, yeah, so what we did that day is, didn't want to upset the viewers in chat. We went ahead and made a day of it. Since we were in the same building, essentially, as the county clerk's office there in Tulsa, where the courthouse was, we walked right over the clerk's office, and we were able to obtain the incident report, or in Ski Mask's case, he likes to call it a summary, because he thinks summaries don't count. But we went ahead and pulled the incident report, or summary, on the incident with the alleged assault on his mother and brother. And boy, oh boy, did we learn a lot of stuff from that, boy, did we, huh? Well, I'm sure we all knew that what he was saying was a lie in the first place, but we confirmed it. There was actually 3 witness testimonies on that court paperwork that actually said pretty much the same thing, that Ski Mask did assault his mother. That's what led to the injury of her shoulder, which resulted in breaking her shoulder in 3 different places. So, what I'd like to do is, because there's some interesting things going on, and I'm not going to discuss these yet. Obviously, you guys know how it works when people start finding out that I'm going to be heading to their town. They start freaking out, right? All the bad apples, even ones that I'm not even covering, start freaking out. So, yeah, I'm thinking a road trip to the Southwest, and what we're going to do is pull paperwork. We're going to do interviews. Hell, we may even see if we can get some of these scumbags to come on for interview. It's the least I can do for them, right? There's always 2 sides to a story, as they say. Yeah, don't worry. Nothing like Controlla. One, I'm not under the influence of any drugs, or in allegedly CBD in her case while she drives. And 2, I don't have any other passengers in my vehicle, so I think we'll be okay. But yeah, good morning to everybody in the chat. We are currently on a road trip right now. We aren't headed to Tulsa, so ski mask, don't worry. I know you probably got excited when you saw that come up on the thumbnail and you knew, oh yes, finally some content to talk about. No, it's still going to be an unfortunately boring week for you and your viewers. But I'll tell you this, it might be a very interesting week for you next week, because by then I'd probably end up in Tulsa. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to start here in New Mexico, head over to Arizona. I've got some stuff to do personally in Phoenix, as well as there are some court cases I'd like to investigate while I'm down in Arizona. I then like to work my way up through the Nevada or Las Vegas area, where there's definitely some court paperwork I'd like to pick up there in Nevada, specifically in the Las Vegas area. Then I'd like to work my way into California. And when I'm in California, oh man, I think that's when a lot of the IRL definitely begin to start. A lot of bad apples I want to investigate down in California. So yeah, I think we go from, let's see, we said New Mexico to Arizona. Colorado. We're going to Colorado for sure. Sorry. I don't know if I mentioned that. I may have skipped Colorado. Because I definitely want to go up to the town of Littleton, where some IRL dipshits decided to do a really bad, I don't even consider it a prank at this point. And yeah, we actually covered this. This has to do with the Wooza incident. And I'd like to personally just get the incident report from what happened, because I have a feeling a lot of that's going to get brushed under the table. And I think what they did was horrible. And yeah, I'd like to do a little bit of coverage into that incident myself. Chelsea, welcome. Joy, welcome. The pooches are at home. They're being well taken care of. Thank you for asking. I'm on the road again. Always on the road, I'd say. But today, I'm just heading up north. I've got to do some work this week. But it's just a 2-day job. And I'd actually like to leave pretty much from either my last job site and head out for this trip. Like I said, if you guys are down for it, I'd like to head out probably by this weekend or sooner. Walter White country. Yes, sir, Scummy. We're definitely headed to Walter White territory. Ooh, you know what? Scummy, I've always wanted to check out the Dulce base. I've heard about that. Oh, if you don't think NJCourts is a big fan of Ancient Aliens, I am, my friend. There's a lot of interesting shit in northern New Mexico, I'll tell you that. A lot of people like to come to New Mexico to hide from the law. This has been going on for hundreds of years now, right? They don't call it the Wild Wild West for nothing. Good morning, Tammy. So what I'd figure, you know, obviously we're there to do some real, you know, court coverage stuff. But hey, you know, while we're out on the road, I definitely like to stop. Like, for example, suggestion right now in chat was the Dulce alien base, which some of you probably have no clue what the hell we're talking about. Just Google search Dulce, D-U-L-C-E, alien base. You'll find some pretty interesting shit about that. Hey, we could go to Area 51. That would be in Nevada. That would be fun. Stinky Pinky, good morning. And you are not banned. I still see you, Stinky Pinky. What's up, Snurk Gonzo? Yeah, I'm personally just getting tired of sitting here waiting for all these FOIA requests. I know we got some court trips coming up here in the next month and two, but, you know, I don't know if a lot of you have known, or I may have mentioned this before, but I know we do have a lot of new viewers now. But I work for myself. I am a very adventurous person. I love the outdoors. So the reason I went into pretty much working for myself was for the fact that I could take time off in the summer, which generally, even when I didn't work for myself, I always put in time off in the summer, and a lot of my employers never liked that. As a matter of fact, it always seemed to be a big issue Not really beforehand, right? Oh, yeah, no worries, right? But then once the time comes, I don't know about this 2 months, Mr. NJCourts. Yeah, well, hey, I already put in for it, bucko. But that's what I just finally said, the fuck with this, man. So, I went into work for myself pretty much for the reason of taking the summer off. I've never heard of Area 52, Amber, HHHH. Maybe you can fill us in here in the chat, please. But, so I don't pretty much have anything planned as far as my own personal life, as far as what I do for a living. After here in a few days, as a matter of fact. Shit, I almost forget we're already going to come into June. Yeah, so I think that's why I already started thinking about this little road trip. Yep, that's exactly why. Now, what I will do for some of you that say you're banned, even though I'm seeing you in chat right now, Stinky Pinky, I don't know if you're on an alt. So if you are on an alt, I'd have to know what original name you were under that you think you may have gotten banned under. But I will certainly check it out, if you bring it up to my attention. But yes, for some of you just joining right now, this is not the start of the official road trip. We're just discussing it, hence why I put the question marks next to it. I didn't want people thinking I was thumbnail baiting or anything like that. I just wanted to hear from chat what you guys thought. Honestly, I think, me personally, I'd have a great time doing it. And like I said, most importantly, it'd benefit the channel greatly, because a lot of the people that we've already covered, and if we started covering, a lot of their shit starts in California. A lot of these people got shit going on in Nevada. A lot of people got records in California and Arizona. So, a lot of FOIA requests we'd be definitely doing, that's for sure. And you guys get to be there with me to see how that goes down, just like we did in Tulsa. So you're saying area, and I'm not reading it, I'm just kind of guessing right now, but are you saying Area 52 is kind of like the real Area 51, and Area 51 was just to throw people off? I can see that. And maybe that's not even what you said. I'm just taking a guess. Oh, and and I forgot, we'd end the road trip in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I would definitely love to have an interview with Mr. Ski Mask Andy himself, a week, 2 weeks prior to his court date, which obviously I will be there for that. But, hey, let's go down to Tulsa and see if we can get an interview. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not against the law. Certainly, I'd be more than happy to interview an individual that's made threats to my life. That'd be pretty interesting. I'd like to know why they made those threats to my life. But more importantly, I'd like to talk to them about their future or most recent court hearing coming up. What do you think about that, Skiwi? Do I got permission to go down to Tulsa? Or do I need to let you sleep on it for a night? But good morning, everybody. Good morning, Gymnast Girl. We are in an area that may get a little shoddy, so if it buffers, it's just going to buffer. If I lose you guys, I lose you guys. But we'll see how long we can make it through on this road trip. Plus, this will give me a good idea. This is just a little mini road trip I'm taking for work, just so you guys know. We're not headed to Tulsa yet. But, this will give me at least a good idea of how the coverage looks like. Big ups! I don't know what to expect from a guy like that. That's honestly why I'd like to get an in-person interview. Honestly, I think the guy is really afraid of just being out in public, to be honest with you. I don't think it matters who you are. Hell, I could probably tell the guy I'm going to come over and meet him with $100,000 in a envelope. and show him the money in hand, and he still wouldn't come out to meet me. The guy's just scared of his own shadow. Hey, but maybe he's not. You know, if he wants to invite me over to his, to have coffee with the family and him, I'd be more than happy to. You know, if he doesn't want to come out of his mom's home, as long as he's invited style family interview, that would be fucking sick. Checkpoints down here may just be guessing here. Oh, any an anonymous line, right? While. We're coming up to a border patrol checkpoint. We also are out in the middle of the desert. I'm rolling through with a bunch of illegal substances with me, and then the next day he wants to kill me. I wonder if they get the same type of flack. You guys, looks like you guys might be back in chat. I thought the checkpoint, hey, enjoy. I've never been able to figure out what, oh, it's on the right-hand side, like sensors. If they're part of like a weather sensing system, they're resistors. I know how resistors look like, but hopefully you guys see it in the buffering. Uh-oh, U-Haul got stopped. Dancing a U-Haul truck. They don't like you. Good morning, guys. Reels. This current road trip. Control checkpoint. So that may or may not have to do some power here, so that way I can keep you guys. Let's see. Who's in the chat? What's up? That'd be much appreciated. Otherwise, I'll restart. And I may be cutting out because trip. Got a lot of coverage out here. Try this area. Yep, it is a beautiful day, Gymnast Girl, and yeah, sometimes we can't control the coverage, even if you think you've got. That way I can see what spot. Hopefully the buffering got a little bit. We are just headed up. I wanted to talk to you. Thank you for somebody that actually understands. And as I get closer to some towns and cities where I think and I would expect there would be some cellular coverage, I will try to talk a little bit more, and hopefully you guys can hear me then. But that's why we're doing a test road trip. Left-hand side, that's all talking about the green chili, the good stuff. Good morning, Ken McDonald. Ken, we're not Tulsa bound today. But it looks like we got a lot of people that seemed excited to go on a road trip. So I think the majority spoke. I probably will still put a poll on the YouTube community page just to verify. But if everybody's for it, we will be doing a court coverage road trip coming up very, very soon. I'm headed to northern New Mexico right now. I'm in southern New Mexico. I'm headed to Walter White territory. So this is just kind of an experimental run, just so I can see how the coverage works. And of course, I am already experiencing a lot of buffering, which I figured it was going to happen. Tammy, do you know what question marks mean? Because you seem to use a lot of them. So I hope you know what that meant. And then I guess you're going to follow it up by, oh, I was just kidding, NJCourts. But I'm not thinking you're too funny anymore, Tammy. I don't like your comic sense. Doesn't make any sense, right? I think you're actually just a troll. But we welcome trolls. Remember, all opinions are welcome. Oh, that UFO could be a rock chip. Oh no, far from pressed. Limited edition, you don't know how me and Tammy go. Tammy's a super fan. I actually talked to Tammy on the phone. Exactly, Super Roofer. Hey, you might get lucky and see one. But, you know, Area 52, which was new to me, so let's go look for some aliens and UFOs. LD, no, I'm not driving to Tulsa right now. My question is if you guys would be headed to Tulsa. But LD, I'll tell you this, in a few days, very soon. It works. I've never done like IRL streaming on the road. But in all reality, this trip is also for work. Yeah, me too, Zen. In the good old days of YouTube, is just seeing the good old VOD days, you know, where you just record yourself and then put, you know, live coverage. But there's a lot of people I'd like to interview on this road trip. If you're just joining now, and again, I don't know how the coverage is, we're planning on heading to, on the road trip, we would be leaving from New Mexico to Arizona, California, Nevada, and Colorado, ending in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And maybe we won't make it to all the states, but definitely we'll go through California because there's a lot of bad apples there that I need to pull some paperwork on. Arizona's got quite a bit of them too. I do want to make a stop in Colorado, but we definitely be stopping in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hopefully to end with a pre-trial interview with Ski Mask Andy. Hey, cool, Miss Texas. And thank you for doing what you did. I hope you're enjoying the retired life, but I have much respect for truck drivers. I don't think people realize how the world doesn't really even go around if we didn't have transportation of commercial goods just like what you did. Blackout, I don't think you should be one talking much about the way I sound, buddy. I think I come out more clearer than you, even when my stream's buffering. Hey, but I'm glad you're joining us, because Blackout, I bet Blackout's pretty shaken right now. You heard I was headed to California, aren't you, Blackout? Oh, and we're going to do some investigating while we're in California, Blackout. As a matter of fact, I got a lot of messages that people have been sending me that you like to mention me in a lot of chats. So maybe we'll go down to California and pull some reports. So, Joy, that body cam footage was actually supposed to come from another content creator. It doesn't look like they're going to be providing that footage. That's kind of why one of the reasons I'd like to just pull it myself. And the easiest and quickest way is going to do it just by going right down to either the court clerk's office or down to the sheriff's office, which we attempted to do before. They wanted us to go through the online process, but hey, you don't have to if you don't want. And if I got to sit there for 3 hours, I'll sit there for 3 hours and wait. Big ups. And I'm not trying to, make fun of his speech impediment, but I heard that he lived with his parents until he was 24, so I have a feeling his parents probably have money and spent a lot of money on trying to fix his speech impediment. I just have a feeling it's just probably something he can't fix. And honestly, I think he probably still relies on his parents. But nothing wrong with that. Hopefully you're just not as much of a scumbag as Ski Mask is. But I will tell you this, Blackout. Just on some basic record pulling of your court records, you don't seem to be that much of a scumbag yet. That or your parents pay for a really good lawyer. Go ahead, Blackout. You and your 5 viewers, go ahead and do that. It'd be much appreciated. Join the other line. Join the rest of the line. Yes, welcome Super Roofer. Super Roofer's one of the newest mods to our mod team, so welcome Super Roofer. Blackout. Hey, we'll see you in court. Oh man, hey, you know what, mods, keep Blackout in here because I'm having a great, actually this is making my road trip a lot more entertaining. This is hilarious. Blackout, I have a feeling you've never been in a fight in your whole life, huh? Because at your age I would expect some better insults. And don't worry, I already told the mods they're not gonna ban you, so have at it. Thank you, Gymnast Girl. Yeah, Blackout is just another piece of shit. Not even a streamer, just somebody that's got access to YouTube and a camera. And unfortunately, you know, they garnered enough attention that, you know, every once in a while when they turn that camera on, they get 5 to 10 viewers. So what he likes to do is just come into other people's chat and try to be somebody that's relevant. But everybody knows who this scumbag is. There you go. There you go, Blackout. Now you're starting to get more insulting. There you go, bud. Hey, well, enjoy it, Blackout, because it doesn't last for very long. It's usually about a month. And then you'll be doing dancing videos like Gamble. Good morning, Cleet. Oh, and I think Blackout, you got a little bit more famous for something else, bucko. And I wouldn't be bragging about being famous from that. Because the fact of what... So, yeah, welcome to my show, Blackout. It's nothing to be proud of to be featured on the NJCourts show. Is there a reason you wear a hat all the time? At least I accept my baldness. You're like Ski Mask. You got one of those fucked up haircuts. Show your head, Blackout, show your head. A beautiful lake. Okay, now we can talk about Blackout. You, the lake's over. You a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Oh man, he seriously does put a bowl. You don't think that's a straight bowl fucking haircut? That is the definition of a bowl haircut. We banned him finally. Hey, I don't have control. But the thing is I think Ski Mask has been trying, I mean, if he really, and I'm being serious, if he enjoys doing that, you know, criminal record. I've had people, and thank you to everybody that asked, man. I'm telling you, these like ski mask type people, they all. So now, yeah, the guy's got a little crush on me. You know what I mean? Okay, thanks, Stick. Timing out is okay. You know, we do need eventually a little 10-minute break from that guy once in a while. And whoever said that you can actually hear his voice through his comments, I agree with you 100%. It's nuts. And I'm not even trying to be mean or anything about that. Yeah, it's going to definitely buffer. Desert internet. It only gets good when we're near a town or city. So enjoy the views. It's a guy in jail, which he already has. Again, I'm not going to get into the Dino Man theory anymore because we've already It sounded like the guy was a good role model on him. So, you know what? I hope he does get a boyfriend in jail because the guy needs some type of role model in his life. And hopefully it's somebody that really is trying to change their way in life that he meets in jail and will help. Have a great time down here. Oh, and there's great food. I love the food down here. Now, funny story, Fox serial killer. Haven't made a big movie, a big ticket movie, just based on the fact that it's a true story. But it's straight out of a movie, serial killer shit. Miss Texas, I do have Wi-Fi turned off. I did make sure and double check that. But you know what? Maybe what I meant is I have it off, but it's not completely off. So I will double check that. I see what you mean. Yeah, well, this individual wasn't a truck driver. What they did was even scarier as a job, and that's probably why they had as many victims as they did. Miss Texas, Verizon is the carrier I use now. Appreciate that. Thank you, Gymnast Girl. If you guys are enjoying the stream, I'd much appreciate a thumbs up. Helps a lot. And I really thank you guys for that. It's much appreciated. I'm headed to Walter White territory, my friend. Now, reap what you sow. I'm headed to Albuquerque. Albuquerque. ABQ, the Duke City. Famous for Breaking Bad now. Famous for the Balloon Fiesta. Famous for the Isotopes baseball team, who the Isotopes got their name from the Simpsons episode where the Isotopes was featured. There's a long backstory to that, but if you watch The Simpsons, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. And if you've ever been to that stadium, it's pretty sick, especially if you're a Simpsons fan, because it's all decked out with Simpsons stuff. Hey, Brandy, good morning. Damn, Super Roofer. I've taken the Amtrak out of Albuquerque. That's some serious shit, boy. There you go, Blackout, see? Now you're trying to find some humor. That's a lot better than being negative. So Mix Texas says, if you're on 40 West, you're going to lose service on them hills. It's bad from Tucumcari to Albuquerque. And we probably are going to be heading on 40 West on the next road trip. So thank you for that information. That's good to know. That's why I was thinking of heading, well, yeah, never mind, because I wanted to go to Arizona first. Shit. Well, that's like, you know what I was saying, Texas girl? What I think I'm going to do is if I find anything interesting and for some reason I don't have service, I'm just going to record it. And I'll just have to put it up as like a, regular VOD, regular clip. But, at least you were able to see what I saw, And then wherever I do have service, hey, I'll go live. Damn. Albuquerque, Chicago, and then Memphis? Well, you don't have to mention anything more if you don't have to, but golly, they were sure watching your ass, that's for sure. That's crazy. Since you're in the chat, why don't we, and obviously I can't do an interview with you while I'm driving, and I never would, but why don't we do like a chat interview? Can you verify, is the individual that you have the restraining order that's against you, is that Country Karen? Because I thought you guys were friends. So I'm just curious what happened between you guys that caused her to get a restraining order against you. And maybe that's not the individual, but what I've read is that you do, I guess, allegedly have a restraining order against you. So if you'd like to speak on that, that would be kind of cool. Damn, Miss Texas. 6 days a week for a year? Then you knew that run like the back of your hand, as they say. I take this route quite a bit just with my work, between here and Phoenix. And so I-25 North, I-40 West. And, yeah, so I begin to kind of get like that too, Not that many days a week. I don't travel, obviously. But, yeah, you start getting to know the areas a lot better, that's for sure. Especially when them state sheriffs like to hide at. Yeah, I think I did a short trip on Amtrak. But I've always liked to do one pretty much like Super Hooper did. West to East Coast. I think that'd be pretty fun on a train. How did you like it other than being bothered by the DA, Super Roofer? How was that trip? I would imagine you have more room to stretch your legs out on, is what I'm saying, versus taking a bus or even in a road trip in a car, But who knows? Like I said, mine was just a short trip, so I can't really say it was, long enough to where I could give you a fair evaluation of what I thought Amtrak would be like on a long trip. Yeah, see, I don't sleep, so that wouldn't be a problem for me. As a matter of fact, I think that's what most of the people that, when I take bus trips and stuff like that are next to me when it's a nighttime trip, they can't stand me because, you know, I always got the light of my smartphone or laptop on because I don't sleep. Sometimes I do. I believe there's going to be a rest area coming up soon. So I always like to stop at all the rest areas and just do a visual check of my vehicle, you know, just to make sure my tires look good. And I don't know, I'm just kind of weird like that. Old school, I guess you can say, or maybe even paranoid. But yeah, hopefully they got some good coverage at this rest stop. That way I can read chat a little bit better and address some of the questions. You know he's going to go live. He's going to try to use this as to say, oh, NJCourts is coming to Tulsa. I'm going to knock his head off. You know what he's going to do, right? He's just going to, I knew he was going to try to use this for some content for the week since he didn't have any. But don't worry, Ski, soon enough, you will be able to actually replay all my live replays once I'm on a road trip to Tulsa for reals. Okay, that would be kind of interesting. That'd be pretty cool. Amtrak through the wintertime in Canada. Bet you there was some interesting views. Florida, all right. And you said you had for sure. Zan, I wouldn't really call it a job. I call it more of e-bagging, but to each their own. And see, let me tell you something. Where I grew up here in New Mexico, I grew up in an area that was really cool. I think is probably where I got my adventurous side and the side to me that loves the outdoors. I was in an area where, yes, I was in the desert, middle of the damn desert, as a matter of fact. But literally 1.5 hours from me, you can access the and plenty of ski resorts, very well-known ski resorts, as a matter of fact. In Texas, because I think that Ruidoso is the closest ski resort to any 1.5 hours drive. I was in the snow, 1 hour drive. What else? 1.5 hours. I'm in Mexico. Some coverage here because we're going to start dipping down some. We're actually going down one of them now. Even on a better. That's what it says. And short coverage road trip. And obviously here in the desert, we encounter a lot of buff if I think it's interesting enough. But that's going to be exciting or newsworthy or Cortez. We're on I-25. Or not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But all desert from here to the next. A little bit bored with this part of the trip. My favorites after Monday to the river, hence why everything is a lot greener. Those kind of in this area. For some of you that our original name given from the Spaniards, which was the route they would take from the main route goes through the through New Mexico. It doesn't matter what the first word means. It means the second word, muerte, means death. Back in those days, there was no water bottles to take with you. You just have to fill up, wooden barrels, leather. Be travelers that would get lost. Find them. Matter of fact, if you take a small airplane, essentially you have to be able to fly very close to the road or the freeway. You can actually see from the sky so many wagons traveling through that route. We're entering a buffering zone. It helps a lot. Zen, are you discussing like true crime on TV or like the true crime community? Because I enjoy like the true crime type of stuff, on TV, but I'm not much involved, or have I, participated or followed the true crime community, which I've just learned of from following some of these other individuals that, entered into the ski-verse, I guess you could say. Oh, Miss Texas, that's good to know, because we are going to be doing some traveling on 40 if we decide to do the road trip. So that's good to know. All right, both. Well, there you go. That was my answer. I'll let chat reply. Albuquerque to Denver. Well, so that's kind of, well, darn. Because that was like the original route I wanted to take. See, so there you go. You've already answered one of my questions. So I appreciate that information, Miss Texas. I mean, that almost makes me wonder if I should head to Phoenix first, to California, then head east, and cut through Colorado and head towards Oklahoma that way. Moho, this is not the Rocky Mountains, my friend. Well, there you go. Just like they used to have the route of the Muerte, the part where there was no water. There you go. Looks like even on the highway you got a route that there's no gas stations or anything. Hence why there's probably no cellular service. I don't know if this is a border patrol agent. I think, these are wildlife officers. Or no, fire. Cool. United States Forest Service firefighters. It's getting to be about that time of the year. Fortunately, here in New Mexico, we get a lot of wildfires in the summer. Yep. Hot shots. Much respect to the hot shots. That is one hell of a job, I'll tell you that. Got a lot of mountains in New Mexico, but these are not the Rockies. Moho. I'm curious, because I think I have a guess, but I don't want to say it. See? That's what I was gonna guess. I just, you know what's funny about that? I just didn't want to sound dumb if I was not right. There's some good, real good quotes from that movie. What's one of my favorites? Give me a second. Oh, we're coming up to the rest area. Cool. I got to take a number one. And don't worry, I'm not going to take you in the restroom like me. I'm not like those other streamers. I don't see what the kick is about taking people into the bathroom with you so they can listen to you take a number one or two while you're live streaming. But hey, to each their own, right? I know what one of my favorites one is. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember it. It was just in my head right now. Now you're going to have me thinking about that movie this whole time. Let's get in this left lane here. Alright, we'll jump back on the right lane here. Aspen. Damn, well, it sounds like Colorado just has, like, no service, man. I guess it may have to do with a lot of the territory. All right, rest break time. Everybody go get your favorite beverage or go take a number one or number two. All right, let's get a little parking space here. Excuse me, I had a yawn. Oh my gosh. All right. Alright, I'll be right back, y'all. I'm just going to go down and do a little, you know what, and then we'll be headed north. Continue on this little road trip of ours. All right, I'm back. All right. Got my nice little Coca-Cola soda now next to me. And it is the little can. Don't worry. I'm still not cheating. I'm still on my little can diet. Miss Texas, do you ever follow any IRL streamers that are truckers? I'm sure there has to be. That'd be pretty fun IRL streams. I would think it'd be fun to be a trucker and do a stream. Damn, Super Roofer, I commend you. I think the longest I went without drinking soda was a couple of years. I just kicked caffeine and soda completely. But I still was consuming sugar. But I was trying to consume as much natural sugar as I could. But congrats on that. All right. Let's head out. I don't do coffee. It's not because I don't do caffeine. I just don't do coffee for whatever reason. Uh-oh, this device is too hot. Use the overheating protection. Is it getting that time of the day? Yeah, I can feel it's a little hot. All right, well, we'll cruise on a little bit more. I got the AC on. Let's see if the AC helps with the overheating of the phone. If not, then I'll go ahead and shut down the stream just to protect the phone if it starts coming up that alert more. But let me get the AC on. I think that'll start cooling down the phone a bit. Jeez Louise, see? Actually, I gotta actually be more concerned about my phone overheating now. I mean, coverage is one thing, but we're gonna be heading out into the still desert area, so when it gets hot, shit. I might have to just get a little fan and just, one of those fans that like plugs into a cigarette outlet and just have it like directly onto my phone. Holy moly! I don't know why Ski Mask thinks that that's a term he's coined either. He thinks I've stolen that from him. I've never heard the guy say holy moly, to be honest with you. My God, Miss Texas. I'm glad you're okay, or I mean you're alive, but I'm sorry if there was any injuries. That sounds horrible. My gosh. Ah, yes. He does use that one a lot, the Jiminy. And I can see where he stole that from Blade. Yep. Well, he stole the whole Andy name, remember? He was never given that name from Ice Poseidon. He was never even termed an Andy, even going forth after the whole Ice in the Mansion shit. You know what I mean? Damn, I think Ski Mask has literally been like stealing shit, whether it's phrases, stealing from people, whether it's conning money, like all his life, man. Now that I just start thinking about it. Just out of curiosity, did anybody watch Elisa Jordana's stream yesterday? I thought it was interesting because way back when I was a young man, I did come. I used to, I don't want to divulge too much of my past history, but I came from the auto industry a bit. I know how it works, and yeah, she definitely got ripped off if you were watching yesterday's stream, that's for sure. I was doing the math, and the math just didn't add up right. But you know what? A lot of people, I don't think, realized that she was a first-time buyer. I mean, realistically, we don't even know what her real credit score was, but I'm pretty sure, just judging by the way the salesmen were talking, and even the way she was kind of alluding to it, that it wasn't going to be bad, it wasn't the best, but I can tell you a lot of that, monthly payment that they were telling her probably had to do with the fact that she was probably getting financed at around like 12 to 15%. Ski Mask, or whatever your name is, Blackout. Bro, you gotta do shorter sentences. I can't read comments like that while I'm driving. You missed out on that. I was at a rest stop, and I could have actually read your page story here. But unfortunately, you gotta keep it snappy and quick with the insults, okay? Remember, snappy and quick with the insults. And honestly, I can't even read your paragraphs because I just start cracking up because I start reading it like in your voice. And like I said, no offense, bro, but I just can't take you serious. You remind me of a cartoon character. I think that's what it is. Who does he look like? He does look like a cartoon character. Hold on. Oh! I know who it is. That's why I can't take you serious. What the fuck is it? It's from, it used to come on after The Simpsons. What the hell is it? Somebody in chat help me. I can't be the only one. God damn it. No. Okay, yeah. Okay, Elmer Fudd, I can see that. Definitely Elmer Fudd. Shit. You shouldn't have put that in my head, Hobby Hater. I wasn't even thinking of Elmer Fudd. Jesus. Hold on. I need to think of one of the main characters then, because he's one of the side characters. What's one of the main characters in there? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill myself for this one, and I don't mean that. I'm sorry about that. That's not the right word to use. It's the one where they have the damn talking dog. Family Guy, thank you! Las Vegas! And you know what's funny, Blackout? You keep calling me a PDF when you actually look like the character, the cartoon character from that one guy that does play the PDF on that cartoon series. What's his name? Isn't it Stanley? Isn't that guy's name Stan or Stanley? From Family Guy. That's who you remind me of. Because you got the same kind of like wide, I don't know if it's just the double chin or what it is. Or if it's actually just the wideness of your chin. But that's where I think I just see the resemblance, and that's why I can't take anything you say without just like laughing. So, like I said, no offense to you, man. Quagmire, there you go, Quagmire. Jeez Louise, thank you so much, Stanley. I was way off. There you go. Thank you, Trevor. That's who I was thinking he reminded me of, was Quagmire. Doesn't he look a little like it, or is it just me? But Elmer Fudge, I see that now. No, Rock. I think I look more like, let's see, what I've been called. Baldy. What are some of the ones? Come on, whack out, help me. You're using kind of all the old ski terms he used to call me. Vegas, we're not driving to Tulsa today. We're actually doing a test road trip. I've got work for the next couple of days. But I'm trying to get some feedback from the chat as to whether I should go on this IRL court coverage road trip, which will include Tulsa. So Vegas, the actual court date is June the 20th. That's in about 3 weeks. Dave. That has been mentioned as one of the things people think I do, but no, I'm not. Hey, Superroofer, thank you. I appreciate that. Much appreciated. Superroofer with the $10 super chat. It reads, here's some gas money. And shit, do one yet. I'm going to put a poll today on the community tab. And as long as the majority of the viewers want to see this road trip go down, then the road trip will go down. So I will definitely apply that $10 donation towards that road trip, Superroofer. So thank you so much. So Vegas, he does not have a lawyer, and there's a reason. Because, and you know, again, you're going to hear all sorts of shit from Ski Mask. And that's why I want to do a pre-court hearing interview with the guy. All right? Because it seems anytime we do get him on either a panel or on an interview, he starts to tell a wee bit of the truth. I don't think he's doing that on purpose. I think it just comes out of his mouth. But I tend to believe more of the shit I've heard from like the last panel interview we had than when I kind of isn't forged the bond scam that he's done twice. Yeah, I would love to tap in that days. He's going in front of a judge pretty much to hear what's $5,000 he owes. I'm going to be going through the ban list today. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't think there's a rogue. It appear like it's been resolved, and maybe it did. Maybe it's just a simple mistake. It's in all... Does he really think that? Obviously, you know, I can't check his stream if he's live, but you guys keep me updated. That's hilarious. You know he knows I'm not coming, right? You know he's just doing this as just a way to bait content or donos. Dude's a fucking serial liar. Even if I was coming to or going to Tulsa today, he knows very well I couldn't make that in one day's trip. So if he's even trying to spit that rhetoric out, oh, he's for sure just trying to don't obey. Let me guess. Does his title say, NJCourts headed this way, need money to fix car? Let me guess, that's what it's going to say. NJCourts headed to Tulsa, need money to fix car, ASAP. Sonny, I will have fun, but I'm not going to be headed to Tulsa today. Obviously, I'll be in Tulsa, June 20th, but I'm planning an IRL road trip, a IRL court coverage road trip, prior to the June 20th. I keep wanting to say January. June 20th court hearing. Oh yeah, there you go. Thank you, Steph Lynn. Stalker's coming today and is almost there. Yup. See, and even Ski Mask, he's driven these roads himself. So he knows a lot better. He knows, Ski Mask probably knows exactly where I'm at on the highway. So there he goes. Yeah, well, I'm sure everybody, the last 3 people that support him in that chat, probably already know that I'm not going to be there today. So, Ski Mask, good luck with that scam. Oh my gosh, Super Roofer. Oh, now you're killing me, bro. Now I want to end my stream so I can go start listening to this bullshit coming out of his mouth. Oh, jeez. You know what's funny, though? Is let's see how he's really going to react when I'm really headed over there. Because I've already been there before, Ski. So you can't say, like, this is not my first time. You made the same threats, which I'm assuming he's making now, when I was headed there for your first court coverage. You're the one that decided not to show up to court. I don't know what you're so afraid of, somebody that's just a court coverage reporter, man. Thanks, Super Roofer. I appreciate that. Hey, maybe you know what? Let's go with this. Let's pull a scam today. I want to feel how it feels to be a scumbag. So what I'll say is, I got kicked out by my parents, and I need money to get a motel tonight. There we go. There we go. I need to change the title to my thumbnail as, got kicked out by my parents, need immediate motel money for tonight. Please donate. That's kind of like Ski Mask used to do. Remember when Ski Mask was homeless? Well, he still is. But this is when he couldn't really go back to Tulsa because he had just finished sending his mom to the hospital. Even though they welcome him with open arms now, I think at that time they didn't want to see him at all. So pretty much Ski, what he would do is he would just drive. He would park at a park, and he would come up with this whole little, like, kind of, hey, I really need a place to shower. Oh, I didn't have any, I can't sleep in my back seat. Dude, the guy's like 5'5". He fits in even the back seat of an Aveo, okay? This dude was just trying to scam people every day for motel money. Now, granted, he would stay at a motel every once in a while. I mean, he even himself couldn't, after 3 weeks take his own nasty smell of his little nut stink, okay? The guy had a shower just so he could continue to drive. But it was most of the time just a scam, That's all it is. Hey, Hey, Sonny, have a good day, man. It was good to see you. Well, Sonny, I hope if you get a chance to, I don't know how your work schedule goes, but when this IRL court coverage road trip kicks off, I hope you can be there to enjoy, because it's going to be one hell of a trip, I can tell you that. Rock the Grouch. See, I don't know whether to just go with that story, because what I found with Ski Mask is if you just go with the story, whether you know it's a lie or not, he stops with it. You follow me? Because if I say, obviously, that no, that's not true, then he's just going to continue with some other BS, okay? So, to answer you, since you're a viewer in my live stream, no, that is not true. But if you want to continue to believe, Ski Mask's story, hey, no worries, okay? I won't hate you that much. Yeah, no drinking and bartending, Sonny. Hey, Walter, greetings from El Salvador. Well, greetings from NJCourts right now in New Mexico. So thanks for joining the chat. I couldn't tell if this was a short bus for prisoners or just somebody that converted it to a schoolie. Because if that was a short bus for prisoners, I had to look in there just to see what type of prisoners would be on there. But it just looked like some normal people that just are enjoying a beautiful road trip on a converted schoolie. Hey, Tammy, that's a good question. Very good question, and I'm going to look into that. As a matter of fact, I think I've already heard from some viewers that, yes, they do take your driver's license away. Oh, and shit. And you know what? Next time I have a chance, I actually was going to do it this last time, and I forgot. Son of a... And I actually... Oh, man. I got a great clip for you. Maybe some of you guys may have seen this on his live stream. See, I didn't have a chance to catch it live, so somebody was nice enough to send me a clip, and I'm very thankful for that. But apparently, and I'm not going to get too much into it, I'll let you guys make up your own mind. And if you haven't seen or even know what I'm talking about, don't worry, because I'll eventually show you the clip sometime, even if I just got to put it out as a regular clip. But there is a clip of Ski Mask, I think it was last weekend, as a matter of fact. Super Roofer, thank you for answering that. I thought I had seen people had already mentioned something about that, so thank you. But the last weekend, and maybe I'm wrong, but I believe it was last weekend, as a matter of fact, and it had to probably been like on a Saturday, because the mail doesn't deliver on Sundays. Ski Mask received an envelope, okay? One of those, priority type of envelopes, you know what I mean? And I don't think he knew what was going to be in there, to be honest with you. I think he got excited. I think he really thought it was like money or something from like one of these cult members that's been sending him stuff in the mail, right? So Ski Mask is obviously opening this up on live stream. The reason I think that he thought it was something else was, I think if he figured out what it was or what it ended up being, he wouldn't have done it on live stream, okay? So you see him opening up this priority mail envelope. Exactly, Super Roofer. That's what I'm thinking. Again, I don't know that for sure, but just judging by the size of the envelope and judging by the immediate reaction of him not even talking about it and throwing it in the trash, which we all very well know he went and pulled that out of the trash as soon as the live stream was over. I have a feeling he got some paperwork that if he doesn't reply back to, there's probably, and again, I'm not as sure of this, But there could be the possibility that he could lose his driver's license. Absolutely. Abso-effing-lutely. Hey, Zan, I will. I always watching my six, trust me. From what I do in work and from my past work experiences, I've learned a lot about that. I've dealt with a lot of bad apples, so ski mask is nothing even compared to some of these individuals I've dealt with before, so not worried about it, but always cautious, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, there you go, Super Roofer. I have a feeling then those must have been it. I told you I really start enjoying on this drive. Remember when I said everything starts getting green? Well, here we are. And the reason for that is because this road's now a lot closer to the Rio Grande, the river. And this river for the state of New Mexico is like a life support line. Not only does it provide drinking water for the state, it also provides very important irrigation water for the state. The whole state. Because this river runs from the north of the state south to the whole south of the state. Runs right down into Mexico. You know what, Supreme Being? I'll tell you what, if you want to just talk about the last things that guy owns, that's the last of his own personal possession is his driver's license. I'm even surprised he has one, to be honest with you. But I can tell you this, if they take that away, obviously he's still going to break the law, right? If he gets his car fixed, he's going to continue to drive it. He did that without having insurance, without having registration, okay? And he was driving in states where he knows if he would have got pulled over, there's probably a good chance he was going to get put in jail because they were going to run his information and see that he had outstanding warrants. So he doesn't give a shit. But it's still going to put that little thing in the back of his head every time he's out driving of, man, if I get pulled over today, what's going to happen? So... yeah, Tammy, it's pretty sad. I was listening to one of them speak on Ski Mask panel earlier today when I was getting ready to leave this morning, as a matter of fact. I'm not going to name names, but this is just another individual that's just pulling the same e-begging scam. And it's just so funny to listen to two e-beggars talk to each other. And pretty much just to try to justify what they're doing is, you know, okay, and, you know, is why they don't have a real job or prefer not to do a, you know, work a regular job. Because, see, Tammy, in all reality, most people don't have the luxury of being able to leech off their parents, regardless of what situation they're in. That's why you see people that are homeless, okay? They can continue to be a criminal. They can't continue to have a drug addiction or problem and live at home, okay? But in some cases, unfortunately, you see these individuals do have a place to live at. They are essentially leeching off of somebody, and that's what allows them to continue these scams, you know? I mean, shit. To get on the internet as much as that guy does, you have to have a Wi-Fi connection. You think he's paying for the Wi-Fi at his parents' home? No. You think he's paying for all the electricity he's burning through when he has to charge all of his 3 different phones and his little selfie light? No. So in reality, even a homeless guy with a cell phone couldn't even do what Ski Mask's doing, just because they can't even afford some of those luxuries that he's leeching off of his parents. Yep, Miss Texas, Michelle is a perfect example. Perfect example. All right? That lady's just living off of, whatever's going on right now between her and her ex-husband and their divorce, essentially. Okay? That's it. She doesn't own that house. She doesn't own that property. I'm sure the bank still has the note to that home. So not even the ex-husband owns the home. They're just, ex-husband's just probably waiting to get her out of there and sell the house. That's the only reason that individual's able to continue to just, leech off of free utilities, free Wi-Fi, and can still afford to get drunk every day and do what she does. Yeah, it's sad. That house, from just, what I've seen, looks like it's probably a really nice house. And you've got a psychotic, I don't even know what else to call her, that's pretty much just leaving it in shambles and destroying that house. I mean, it'll get to a point where you might not even be able to clean that house where they can sell it. Yeah, and see, Miss Texas, I don't know much between her. I was just introduced to her as an individual because of following, the whole Ski Mask thing and when she got involved and that whole shit show. But, I don't know as much as like some of these other creators and channels that follow her, some of the clipping channels that Clipper do. But I can tell you, the situation is going to be bad for her. I mean, I've got enough experience in what I do and what I've seen to tell you that. Hey, Marie, good to see you. Hey, Julia. That's kind of funny, Blackout. That I can laugh at. See, you finally figured it out. Short and sweet. There you go. Hey, Blackout, I have a question. Did you at least have the decency to get the name of the individual that you essentially ran over and killed, allegedly? Did you ever figure out who that was? Because if you haven't, I have a feeling this channel is going to figure out who it was. Especially when we go down to California. That'll be a pretty good investigation. Because I personally want to know if that individual had any family members that are even aware of what happened to that person. Hey, nothing criminally happened to you yet, Blackout. All I want to know is just that person's name. Why did you take down that last VOD of yours? The one where you went bar hopping? The one that everybody kept posting on IP2 showing that you were going to drive home intoxicated again after... there was nothing wrong, why didn't you leave it up? Did your family's lawyer tell you to take it down? Bad coverage on, regardless of which service you were on. So being that I'm closer to a big city, I would hope that it's going to get a little better. I'll tell you what, whoever buys Michelle's house, they better have one of those poltergeist people go in there and burn as much incense as they can to get rid of all them demons out of there. Hey Jen, good to see you in chat. Good afternoon or good morning to you. Sage, thank you, Zen. I knew it had a proper name. This is actually a rest stop, another rest stop we're coming up to here on the right. I'm not going to pull over into this one because we just stopped at the one before, and I'm pretty close to Albuquerque anyway, so. But it's a pretty cool rest stop. It looks like a wooden fort, and there's one on both sides. I always remember when we passed through this rest stop as kids, I'd always want to stop because it literally looks like a wooden fort. It's actually a pretty cool rest stop. It's got these really nice, like, cabanas. These, like, I mean, essentially, you could live in these things. They don't allow overnight camping, which is a bummer. But that's probably why they don't. They don't want a lot of people sleeping in them. But, man, they're nice. I'll tell you that. It's probably one of the nicest rest stops I've ever been to in the whole... They'd have to put holy water to... Till today, I personally don't feel like the investigation is done. I did take kind of a poll through chat, and most of chat didn't seem too interested in wanting to cover Blackout Andy. But being that he has came in chat, being that he has continued to stream, and like you said, just showed no mercy. I mean, not one bit of empathy towards this individual. As a matter of fact, the same day that this incident happened, that same night, he went back home, started drinking more beer, and went to live streaming again and making jokes about it. All right? Whether that individual's going to agree with me or not, that's what I got out of it. That's what knocked this individual, or, you know, was really heavy involved in their chat and thought they were more than just, you know, e-friends. I don't know. Again, I don't know the whole story of it, but whatever I'm, you know, where I'm going with this is I thought there was some type of relationship between these two. Obviously, something's changed if there's been a restraining order put from one individual on the other. But it does seem like he does like to threaten women. I have seen that before, Julia. As a matter of fact, back out, I'm an Eagle Scout. If you'd like to know more about my Scout history. I'm pretty sure you probably got involved in Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts at one point of your miserable life. But yes, I'm actually an Eagle Scout. Proud to be one. As a matter of fact, being involved in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts is what piqued my interest into joining the military, and is what got me into being adventurous and what got me into loving the outdoors. And you guys, you want to hear something funny? This individual that you see in chat do you notice everything they've said has like the same kind of like thing they're going or referring to, right? Is somebody touching something. And I'm no psychologist, but I've been talking to one. She's a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, I've been talking a lot about ski mask to her. And what I've learned kind of about ski mask and talking with her is kind of, I think, what I'm seeing with you. She mentioned something when you see like victims of things, they tend to talk a lot about it, and they do it like in a way of defense, like when they go into their defense mode, okay? So for you to be always kind of, whenever you want to defend yourself or want to, like, I guess try to seem like you're talking to somebody, you know, talking shit, you immediately start referring, because I've seen you in other chats, you immediately start referring to pedophiles. And I have a feeling the reason you refer to that all the time is either you allegedly are one or you are a victim of one. It's just my experience from what, you know, few conversations with my psychologist friend has been like. That's all I'm saying. And if you were a victim, I feel bad for you, and I'm sorry that happened. And if, you know, you're acting this way out from that, I would encourage you to seek some help. If you're the other individual, boy, you better hope you never find yourself in jail. That's all I gotta say. Because they don't like people like you. And I don't either. There you go, Super Roofer. That's the best way to put it. Guilty dog barks first. I love that. I'm going to turn this to the right here. You guys can see more of that valley I'm telling you about. Kind of, I think. Starting to get a lot greener. Starting to see some farming land. A lot of green chilies grown in this farmland that we're seeing to the right of me. That's one reason I would find it hard to leave New Mexico, is I am addicted to our green chili, man. I put green chili on everything. My breakfast, my lunch, my dinner. And I think almost everybody in New Mexico does that. I don't think you have to be a green chili addict. It's kind of like having your morning coffee, you know. Tammy, remind me never to fuck with you. El salsa verde. Yes, sir. Which? Now, don't be fooled, though, Super Roofer. Not all salsa verde is from the green chili. I know they use a lot of the poblano pepper, which looks a lot like the green chili. If you were not a green chili connoisseur, you would definitely pick up a poblano thinking it was a green chili. Oh, now you're getting me hungry, Tammy. I didn't eat breakfast this morning. Blackout, at least you're just getting timed out. And remember, you're getting timed out because the mods feel they can only take you in little bits, okay? which is better than just being banned permanently from most chats like you are. So be thankful that we allow everybody's opinion as long as it doesn't break TOS in the NJCourts chat room. But sometimes you can only be tolerated for certain increments of time, and therefore could be timed out sometimes. Miss Texas, that's why I like going down to El Paso to eat. Because El Paso has a little bit of all three cultures. El Paso is close enough, obviously, to Mexico, where you're going to get the real Mexican food from, like, real Mexico. El Paso, Texas is right next to New Mexico, so you get that New Mexican cuisine culture. And then you got the Mex-Tex. You're in Texas, baby. So you got Mex-Tex. You've got New Mexican cuisine. And then you've got the, like, real Mexican cuisine. I can't do mole either. Never been a mole person. It's like one of those things, you either love it or you hate it. Then if you're in El Paso and you really want to experience some Mexican food, you can just walk over a 15-minute bridge walk and you're in Juarez, Mexico. And even at 16, when I used to go down to Juarez, and yes, I was not a bad boy at my young ages, but I liked to party. And in Mexico, you could go down there, and Juarez was about an hour drive from where I was raised. And yeah, you could be 18 and under and drink at the bars there in Juarez. Technically, it's 18 and over, but you get it, right? So yeah, you know, as young high schoolers, we used to go down there and party. And we used to like to go down during the day and eat, you know? Eat during the day and stay for the clubs at night. Hey, good to see you, I think it says my four monkeys. Welcome, I was born in El Paso, raised in New Mexico. Nice. There you go, Blackout. You're starting to pick up, right? Small, quick, quirky remarks. So we got your hat is small. Oh, yeah, you got me there. Lazy Run. Are we driving to Ski Mask? We are not driving to Tulsa today. I'm headed to do some work for the next couple of days. I'm also doing an experiment road trip right now to see how the coverage is working. I've never done actual IRL on the road. And we're quickly learning. We're going to have a lot of areas where we're going to be buffering. So, and I'm learning from a lot of the viewers, especially that have done this or, you know, have traveled through, just like Miss Texas, that there's a lot of areas that I plan on going on this road trip that we could be possibly experiencing some buffering. So, learning a lot. Blackout, and again, I'm not trying to be mean because it's not my style, but since you're going to bring up these subjects, I think I can interact a bit, right? I mean, it is my channel. No offense, bro. And I mean, I'm saying this man to man, like, you know, like, even if we were friends, you wouldn't fool me, okay? I could be your best friend and you're still not going to fool me. I can just tell by the way you interact with women and just the way you act on camera, you've probably never even touched a woman's boobies in your whole entire life. Now, I'm sure you've probably kissed women because I can see you as one of those guys that just finds the most intoxicated girl at the bar and starts trying to buy her drinks and then tries to take a picture of her like kissing you on the cheek, and then you turn your like, you know, your cheek over and think it's funny she kissed you on your lips. I can see you having some of that experience, but I can tell you, bro, anybody can tell, you've never experienced a real woman, my friend. Virgin for sure. Yup, super roofer. And again, blackout. It's nothing to be offensive of. I mean, your buddy Wuza, he said he's saving himself for marriage. And I think that's great. But please do not try to come on here and act like you know what I mean? We know, bro. And like I said, it's all right, bro. Especially, I've seen now in this new time and age, having sex at an early age isn't the like newest craze, you know? I think it's okay to be 40 years old and be a virgin still. So don't worry about it. But what I'm trying to say is don't come on as a liar. You're going to be more obvious, you know, that you are one talking the way you are, okay? Clearly, we know you've got a small package, okay? You can just see it from your eyes, all right? Clearly, you've never touched a woman's boobie. We can see it just by the way you talk to women, all right? So just be respectful. And I'll tell you, being respectful to women is what's going to lead to you losing that virginity one of these days. Oh, blackout, keep on lying. It's just psychological 101, man. You know what I mean? See, just like right now, you're now making comments about people's weight. Again, I'm not trying to sound mean, but have you ever looked at yourself in a mirror? Why in the hell would you be comment? That's like me trying to comment on someone's weight right now. That's like me trying to talk shit to somebody and calling them a bald-ass motherfucker. That's like when Ski Mask sits there and tries to talk shit about people that actually work, or when he sits there and tries to talk shit about his family members that actually have family members that care for them or that have jobs. It's kind of like hypocritical, right? Ski Mask trying to talk shit about people getting jobs. Hey, good to see you, Manette. Welcome to the chat. Tammy, that's why he always wears hats. Blackout. If you want to prove me wrong, next time you go live, I want to see you go live without a hat. Hi, Kay. Court hearing is why do I keep saying January? June the 20th. That is for Ski Mask Andy. Now, if you're referring to Controlla, shit, her case should be going in front of a grand jury anytime this week. As of last Friday, it had been submitted, but her case had not gone in front of the grand jury. So that's why we don't have a date for the jury trial yet. And again, I don't know if that's the two individuals you may have been asking about. I just saw win his court. Oh, that's a good one, Tammy. Although in reality, I'm sure Edward Scissorhands would have given him a kick-ass haircut. Not Edward Scissorski, though. Edward Scissorski cannot do a kick-ass haircut. Oh, are you referring to Blackout? Well, we're going to be doing an IRL court investigative trip here soon. And we are going to be stopping in the state of California. So we may be able to provide you some more information. As of right now, I don't think there's been any court date set because there hasn't been any criminal charges set forth. But that's why we're going to do an investigation so we can find out exactly what's going on. And like I said, most importantly, I want to know the individual's name and who he was, or who she was, that was killed. That was a victim of this incident. Thanks, Flash. I'm almost to my destination for the first day. Which you all are going to start seeing a lot of the suburbs of Albuquerque here coming up soon. They start about 20 miles outside of Albuquerque and then work themselves all the way into downtown Albuquerque. Or excuse me, that's as far as it reaches, right? Then you get in Albuquerque, and then, you know, there's outskirts even going north of Albuquerque, more suburbs. Just like any other big city in a state. No, I'm not even kidding, Miss Texas. I know that boy's got to be using a real metal bowl, from his mom's pantry, okay? No joke. Ski Mask for sure is using the old bowl, you know, the bowl technique to cut that hair. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Hey, Kelval, I will be going to Colorado for this next IRL court coverage road trip. That's the one I'm discussing right now. And I'm very familiar where Trinidad and Pueblo is. As a matter of fact, that's one of the ways I've gone to Denver, is going through that way from New Mexico. Beautiful area. Very beautiful area. To be honest with you, I love Colorado. I would probably consider moving up there. I am just not a snowbird. Although I like to go skiing, I don't enjoy cold weather whatsoever. That's why I love living in the desert, and I'm a desert rat. But Colorado is very beautiful. And I appreciate the fact that it is close to my state and that I can go visit there every once in a while. Or in my old state, excuse me. It's still my home. I still refer, and it will always be my home here in New Mexico. Oh, damn, I didn't even realize we're already in Los Lunas. Oh, yeah, we're about to enter Albuquerque here very soon. I'll take you guys the back way in. We'll go through the Sur Valle. I actually lived down here in the Sur Valle for a while. That's why I'm not afraid of people like Ski Mask. You want to read and again, I'm not talking bad about the South Valley. I love the South Valley, but it's definitely a wild side of Albuquerque. A lot of bad stuff happens in the South Valley, unfortunately, but it's also one of the most beautifulest parts of the South Valley, or of Albuquerque. And see, I like to live by the river. If you guys haven't figured out, I love the river. And see, when you live in big cities, unfortunately, the only way you can live next to any area of water is if you can afford expensive housing, right? Well, in the South Valley, it's still very cheap to live down there, and you're right by the river. The reason it's cheap to live down there is because it's still very dangerous. But it's gorgeous. So if you don't mind the gunshots, if you don't mind the crime, you are rewarded by the beauty of the river and the bosque and, you know, everything that comes with being by the river. But it's crazy everywhere, Kelval. You know, it really is, but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not trying to sound like, oh, it's tough, you know, oh, Albuquerque tough, Albuquerque, you know, no. But I would say I've traveled my share of big cities, and Albuquerque does got its share of bad shit. And it's unfortunate because it's a beautiful city. It's not that big. But for its small size, it's got a lot of shit in it, man. It's sad. And it used to be not like this at all. I grew up coming into this town, you know, from the small town I'm from. This is where we come to shop, you know. Come to do like a little mini vacation, you know, and it is not like it is near. I'm talking like 10 years ago, all right? Not even 20 years ago. Just in the last 10 years, it has to do with that fentanyl crisis. It's everywhere. And unfortunately, because Albuquerque is obviously on one of the biggest fucking intersection routes in the whole United States, when you're a drug smuggler, a lot of that shit comes into the city, and it's cheap. Okay, very cheap. So I blame the fentanyl crisis. I'm sure there's all sorts of other shit going on, but me personally, I want to say a little bit does definitely have to do with the whole, you know, epidemic and shit. Exit 14th Street? Okay. Yeah, I can see Trinidad and Pueblo being like that, Kelval, because they're right on that route, you know, heading north towards Denver. And I'm sure, you know, they're beautiful little towns that, you know, prior to this problem, probably didn't have as many of the crime issues they have. And I can guarantee you, being that those towns are on that route, they're probably experiencing a lot of issues because of that. Oh no, I got you, Miss Texas. I'm not going to get off there. I know Albuquerque very well. Blackout. You know what? That is a very good question. Finally, a fucking decent question from you. I'd like to know. I'm kind of curious. But I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I don't know how much shampoo and how many bottles I would use in a month. But I'd be curious to see if I could figure that out and multiply it by how many years I've been bald and find out how much money I've actually saved. Man, Blackout, you need to work on your like insults, man. That's how I really know you're a 40-year-old virgin, and I'm being honest. What really, I mean, just looking at you is what kind of led me to believe that. But your insults, Your insults tell me a lot about you. And I can tell you've never touched that nice, beautiful, warm, soft, silky feeling of a woman's, you know what. And no offense to women. Here's the hill, as I call it. This is when you start heading into the Burke, baby. Walter White City. Whoa! This person slowed down in front of me. Oh, yeah, just slam your brakes so you can go around this truck. So instead of taking the main way in, I'm going to take you guys the back way in. Like I said, through the South Valley. To the right of me used to be the Hard Rock Casino. This is the part of the Isleta Reservation. I guess they must have bought out. I don't know if it was part of the reservation, then the casino was bought out by the Hard Rock Company and then resold back to the reservation. I don't know the exact story, but it's not a Hard Rock anymore. It's just called the, I think it's like the Isleta Casino is what it's called now. But it used to be a Hard Rock, and it was pretty cool back then. They used to have some kick-ass pool parties. Alright, so now we're going to be making a left. This is literally heading in the south. Literally heading in the southway, in kind of like Skiwee. Annie, Ski Mask goes to court on June the 20th. It'll be at the Tulsa counter, and you go south, man. It's no fun. Especially if you've sank in all your money, all your retirement, everything you save for into that. It's no fun, man, and I always hate to hear those stories from people. And it looks like I'm losing everybody in chat, so I'm not sure if my buffering is happening now or if I've been disconnected, but if I have any mods or if anybody's still in chat, throw me a comment so I know I'm still live. Ah, there we go. Dang, Blackout, out of the last 3 people here in chat, you're one of them. Congrats. You just become one of the top 3 NJCourts simps. No offense to the other 2 simps, because I love you. Oh, there's another one. That one's new. I've never seen that one before. Whack out! I'm actually not Jewish. My family is of Mexican, Italian heritage or descent. So we have more Roman Catholics in our family. So I actually was raised going to a Catholic church. Okay, cool, Super Roofer. But it looks like we're back. All right. I was like, man, I was able to have everybody chatting when I thought we had dead zones. And now when I think I'm not in a dead zone, nobody's in chat. KC, I agree with you on that. I've actually seen some pretty racist videos from him And that's why I think it's funny that he's trying to deny some of these individuals that we just started speaking about, that he has, no interactions with them. Because I've seen differently. Let's just put it that way. That's what you would think, Just Jen, but you know what? It's a different time now, man. I mean, shit. That's like, maybe I could have been a bully when I was a kid. I was like a little midget in school, man. I was the shortest guy anywhere I went. Could you imagine me being a bully? That's crazy. But I guess times have changed. The bullied are now being the bullies? Is that what I'm seeing? Do you think Blackout was just bullied so bad as a child that's why he's racist and is a bully now? Or thinks he's a bully? He just spits bully rhetoric, but nobody takes him serious. Look at the guy. I don't think personally the guy could hurt a fly, but on the internet you could do a lot of bad stuff. And that's probably why he's speaking the way he does, like a tough guy on the internet. But I can guarantee you any day, anybody can... I mean, you could probably have a 90-year-old old senior citizen give Blackout shit, and he's just going to turn around and walk the other way. Native American and German. Interesting. I had a friend in high school who was Native American and African American. That was really cool. Because, she was her mom was straight Native American. I mean, that was really cool. She knew how to speak. It was, she spoke a little bit. Not a lot, but she spoke, she knew how to speak, and I'm sorry, because I know there's a certain name for the language, but is if you were a part of, the Navajo reservation, I would say you'd speak Navajoan, but that's not what it's called. So again, I apologize if I butchered that, but she spoke in Navajo. There you go. That's a better way to put it. Look at me. I was a green-eyed white boy in school, and everybody tripped out that the first language I learned was Spanish. Que yo hablo español muy bueno. Jen, you cracked me up this morning. Now Jen knows how to throw them insults back. Blackout, you'd get eaten up by Just Jen in a day, man. In minutes. And Jen's a mommy now. She's not even an old school badass Jen from the block, man. If she was, she'd already showed up to your barbecue and knocked... No, I'm just kidding, Jen. Blackout, I'm kind of curious, though. What's a spoiled little brat from Florida like you, who's lived with mommy and daddy all their life, doing in California? I was just down in Florida. Pretty nice. I don't see why anybody would want to move out of that state. But you know what? I have a feeling that you cried to mommy and daddy that there was just no women in Florida for you. They just couldn't handle that sexiness. So you asked them to pay for you to move out to California, the second biggest state with the second biggest city in the country, probably thinking that maybe you'd have a chance at getting some. That's just a theory. And I don't think that's worked out too well. But I am curious what you're doing out in California. Doesn't appear like you have a job. If you do, I don't care. But it just looks like you do the same thing. You just like to stare at chat, you tell bad jokes, and you get blackout drunk off of cheap, watered-down beer. And you probably end up pissing and shit in your bed. You just are smart enough not to live stream that. Could you imagine a California? Hi, Blue. Welcome to the chat. Hey, I've lived in an RV park. I've had some awesome adventures living at the RV park. That's the only way I could afford to live by the rivers and at an RV park. I'm at a stop sign here, so I'll sit on the other view all day long. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. All right, I'm gonna just stop to take another number one and get a little snack action. What's this? And unfortunately, because we got a blackout in here, and he might make some bad calls to the place I'm at, I'm going to just black screen you guys. But I'll be right back. There's actually stores down here that they don't even speak English in. Not even a lick of English. A lot of good Mexican food down here. A lot of llantarias or tire shops. I'm going to be getting onto probably one of the biggest streets here in Albuquerque, called the War Zone. Zone starts. Jen, now you're going to ruin Reading Rainbow for me, because every time I remember that awesome show I used to like as a kid, now I'm going to picture Blackout and his face, like Quagmire, saying, "It's a Reading Rainbow!" So there you go, folks. For those that wanted to hear it, you just heard it in chat. Remember when I was telling you about Ski Mask and, Dino Man? And it has been confirmed. Ski Mask does date men. I don't know why he tries to hide that. It's a wedding. All right, I'm going to stop. All right, now we're getting onto the main street, Central. The river. I don't know if you guys will get to see it from up here, but I'm going over it. We are in town. All right, so I just got this thing that says my device is overheating. So I unfortunately think, because I don't want to F up my device, and it's been saying that now a lot, I may be ending the stream here. Which I know, I just got into town. What are you doing, NJ? Well, hey, it was just a short road trip with me into Albuquerque, where I've got to put 2 real days of real work into, and then I will be done with my contract. Over with for this year, which means I have the summer off.